I would never refuse the opportunity to participate and testify on behalf of my son's behalf. I would never refuse the assistance of a police officer unless, of course, police officers falsifying evidence and saying that I'm an incompetent parent and taking jobs from me and my son and stealing our financial resources and paying informants for expenses that they've never incurred as a result of any type of interaction with me and my son. I don't see how anybody on this street would have anything to say about me and my son, because my son and I have never interacted with anybody on this street except for Roland. We don't go to any other houses or apartments. We don't meet people out in the yard. And anybody that believed differently could have just as easily hung a camera out in the yard with the landlord's permission. Landlords put cameras on properties all over Shreveport and Bossier. I know that because I did real estate inspections and so on. So this is all designed to falsify a record and say I refuse to participate. Really? No, I didn't. You never invited me. In fact, you refused to inform me and refused to allow me to participate, but went out of your way to falsify a record to say that I was invited and to say that I consented, when in fact I never was invited and never gave consent, never gave anybody any reason to assume I consent. I've never spoken to anybody on this street, neither has Jacob. We've never had any visitors here, except for the guy that came to fix the water pump. Well, there was a National Guardsman that gave me and Jake a ride home once from school. So, it's beyond ridiculous to see the cops going out of their way, give me snag jobs and give police escorts to Roland, a convicted sex offender, who just drove by. Just drove by in the span of 5 seconds past on the street. How do you even know I'm looking out the window, asshole? Because you got Roland driving by holding a cell phone up to his ear, talking into it, faking a phone call where you're listening and you're documenting and saying that he interacted with me. No, he didn't. I got it on video. No, he didn't. He's in a squad car to escort, and so the cop will say the same thing. And I should have known. Should have known what? You know how many times the cops come rolling up and down this street? I've seen them drive really slowly with their searchlights. People cross through our yard, and then the next door neighbor's yard, they come hide behind this building, hide around the next door neighbor's building. That's a ridiculous argument to make. It's irrational. It's meant to do nothing but falsify evidence. And that's what it is. The cop will deny that even that it happened that way, and Roland's lying about it too. So, it's the same thing over and over again. I do not consent to searches, surveillance, monitoring, or supervision, and I never have. I've never given anybody any reason to assume otherwise, and I have never appointed anyone to act as my representative and accept search warrants or give my consent to searches. I've never waived my constitutional rights. I've never been charged with a crime. Never done drugs a day in my life, and I don't drink alcohol. I alone supervise my son Jacob. Nobody has ever supervised me and my son Jake but me. I cook our meals. I do our grocery shopping. I wash our laundry. If we're getting evicted from our apartment, it's my name that's on the eviction notice. Nobody else's. Because I'm the one who's responsible for my son. Unfortunately, for you, it's not against the law to be poor. Parents who don't seek assistance, parents who don't try to feed their children, people who don't go to food banks. That are negligent. I know that because a cop told me that. I talked to a cop one time. We were being thrown out of a shelter. I said, well, if I get thrown out of this shelter, over a snitch situation, I mean, I just can't get along. I rip snitches to shreds, and I get fired from my jobs or thrown on the street with my son. I asked the cop, so we get thrown out of here, then what's going to happen? You want to come take my son? He said, no, ma'am. You're his parent. You're responsible for him. He's not unsupervised because he's with you. So it doesn't work that way either.